And good morning, everybody. Dan Thomas here at home for Facebook Live Weather School for Kids. It's a Tuesday, and so I typically do these on Tuesdays, and I've done these for probably 6 weeks now. Always so much fun talking about weather, learning about weather, doing demonstrations, and we're not going to disappoint this morning. Just want to pause for a moment. We're 2 days past Mother's Day and say Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. Hope you had a great Sunday. Hope you're having a great Tuesday today. Now, you may be wondering, since we've been doing this for 6 weeks or so, what could we possibly talk about today that we haven't talked about already? And in order to address that, I'm going to say this. For the little ones out there, for the kids, have you ever been hungry late in the afternoon and gone to mom and said, "Hey, Mom, what's for dinner tonight?" And mom says, "We're having leftovers, dear." And you say, "Ugh, leftovers?" Well, we're going to have leftovers today for Facebook Live Weather School for Kids because weather is only so broad and we've covered so many topics. But I'll be honest with you, these leftovers will be very good. It's sort of like not all leftovers cooked at dinner don't taste good. Leftover pizza is awesome. Leftover Thanksgiving dinner is so good. Leftover lasagna is probably better than the real lasagna when it comes out of the oven. So I think that's going to be the category today. You'll love what we do. We just really haven't covered these topics so far today. As always, if you have questions, pose them to me, and we'll probably spend about 10 minutes, and we'll cap it off at the end with a fun experiment. Now, here are the leftovers for today, things I haven't covered so far. We've made clouds, but I haven't taught you about clouds. I'm going to teach you about clouds today so that when you go outside on a summer or a spring or a fall or a winter afternoon, you can determine whether the weather is going to turn bad or not, probably based on some of these cloud formations. And then we'll turn the tables over to snow, one of my favorite topics. I was born and raised in Boston, and I love big snowstorms. I've been through so many in my life, and we'll actually make our own snowstorm here in my kitchen before we let you go, and you can do that from home in about 10 minutes if you'd like to try it yourself. All right, let's come to the computer here because we're going to have to look at a couple of computer images, and hopefully you'll be able to see this. Again, we do this every day, 11 o'clock, Weather School for Kids on the main WSMV Facebook page. I would love it if when we're done here, you share this with your followers so they can see what we're doing today. Now, you may remember, I've told you before, and some people just know this from me being on TV, is that I used to be in the Air Force. And we actually talked about that fact probably 6 weeks ago. And I showed you some pictures that I used to show to pilots when I trained them about weather. Pilots have to know about different types of clouds. And so we're going to go over some of those things today. And by the way, my brother Steve is still in the Air Force. And today he hits 20 years in the Air Force. Unbelievable. So congratulations, Steve. What a milestone. All right, let's come back and take a look at types of clouds and learn about them. Hey, did you know that fog is just a cloud on the ground? And I don't know if you can see here or not, but this is all fog. And then above that fog, you actually have clear sky. And so the next time you fly, it may be a little while, but the next time you fly, if we take off in some dissipating fog, you may see that on the ground. Fog, just a cloud that sits on the ground. Now, how might this form? You can sort of anticipate this tonight, or not tonight, but some nights. If you live around valleys, or you'll be driving around, your mom or dad will be driving around some hills and some valleys, and it's rained already and the wind has calmed down, the sky is cleared. At nighttime, that cooler air, because it's more dense, it drains down into the valley and can make some fog. So look at this amazing picture here. And so you can see this is actually a river valley, and the fog has only formed in that river valley. Fantastic. And this obviously was taken from an airplane or a helicopter. A couple other types of fog. We have this type of fog where it just gets cool at night after some rain, as we talked about, or we have what's called precipitation fog, where fog forms when it's raining. We get that a lot in the late fall or the winter time, but not as we transition towards summer. So I don't expect to see that for quite some time to come. All right, these pictures here all feed into what happens within a thunderstorm. A thunderstorm doesn't just happen like that. A thunderstorm starts from just a little tiny cloud, and then it grows into a big tall cloud, and then it starts to dissipate. And you can sometimes look outdoors and recognize these different stages of a thunderstorm. And so this is just a sort of a drawing here. I don't know if you can tell, but this right here says 0°C, if you can see that at home, and that means 0 degrees Celsius, or essentially 32 degrees Fahrenheit. That's the freezing point of water. So most of a thunderstorm is way below freezing because the higher we go in our layer of atmosphere, the colder it gets. Now, this is the morning time. Now, again, this was used in the Air Force, so this is essentially an airfield, an airport, and so you can see the big area of paved area that the planes would go on. And then notice these little baby clouds starting to form. These on a summer day, and we're going to be in the pattern that would allow this to happen in just a few days, probably Friday, maybe Saturday and Sunday. Step outside. At 8 in the morning, you won't see these probably, or you won't see too many, but by 10, 10:30, 11 o'clock, you'll start to see these little baby clouds. Then we go to what's called stratocumulus clouds. You may have heard that in school before. Stratocumulus clouds have flat bottoms in puffy tops, but not too puffy. So they sort of form in layers, but you can see they're starting to get a little more puffy, can't you? These stratocumulus clouds usually form over mountains in hills first. So this is Tennessee. This is North Carolina. The border of the two is where we have, right near there is Gatlinburg, the Smoky Mountains. So if you've been to Gatlinburg, it's over here. There's a lot of mountains around there. And in the summertime, you'll get these puffy clouds, stratocumulus clouds, to form over the mountains first before they form over the main body of North Carolina and Tennessee, for example. Now we kick it up a notch and we go to what's called cumulus clouds. These are even more puffy than the stratocumulus clouds. Pretty cool. So you can see how puffy they are, and then we go to cumulus congestus clouds, and notice these are getting even taller. These may start to put out a couple of light rain showers. Notice how sharp the edges of these things are. That's real important. We'll talk about that in a minute. And then here is a cumulonimbus. Cumulonimbus, if you're in like 4th or 5th grade, see if you can spell that later, which is also known as a thunderstorm. Cumulonimbus means the same thing as a thunderstorm. And a thunderstorm often has rain, not always, because sometimes in the desert they don't produce rain, but they definitely have lightning and thunder if you're close enough to hear it. Now notice this right here. My son, he's in the other room playing with his sister in the playroom, but he wants not a flat top, and this looks like this thunderstorm is a flat top. He wants a mohawk, but this, we'll probably give, hey, maybe we'll give him a mohawk just for fun this weekend, and then we'll show it to you on Facebook Live for our final Facebook Live next Tuesday. But this thunderstorm has a flat top, and a lot of them do, and the answer, the reason for that is very simple. So down toward the ground, pretend it's a hot summer day, and again, like Friday will be in the middle 80s, this weekend will be in the mid 80s, so it's going to be hot. So it's very hot, so the air starts to rise, and as it continues to rise, it's cooling, because as we go up in our layer of atmosphere, the atmosphere cools, okay? So until it hits the top of this thunderstorm here, and then where it hits that top of the thunderstorm, the temperature starts to rise again. So if you ever took a hot air balloon and went up today, you know, outdoors right now, my weather sensor says it's about 57 degrees. We'd go up and it would gradually get colder until we get to this height, and that's about 7 or 8 miles up, and then the air would start to get warmer. But at the top of these thunderstorms, it's 40 or 50 or 60 degrees below zero. So you wouldn't want to be in a hot air balloon there because it would just be so cold. All right, just a few more pictures before we talk about snow. So, based on what I've shown you so far, look at these little guys. If we ever see these on a 2 or 3 or 4 in the afternoon, it says little chance at causing trouble. And the reason for that is their edges aren't real sharp. They're very ragged. So that means there's some dry air nearby, and these will not cause thunderstorms. These will not cause thunderstorms. These are, the next time, again, you go on an airplane, maybe go down to Disney World or go to see Grandma or Grandpa, these are called cirrus clouds. They're made completely of ice, and they're about 7 or 8 miles up, and as you're flying in your plane, you can see these right out the window at your height. Made of ice completely, and they sort of look neat how they sort of fall back. You can actually tell the wind direction. Look at this. You can tell the wind direction because they start to fall and then the wind blows them back. So the wind is blowing across this way. If you like to paint, maybe this afternoon you can paint some clouds. These are easy ones to paint, just little brush strokes of white on blue canvas. Lightning. Now we've talked a lot about lightning, so we're not going to talk about lightning per se, but we're just going to say sometimes lightning from clouds is very obvious. You see that cloud out there, you know there's going to be lightning. The most dangerous time for lightning is when it's not obvious, when the clouds sort of look like this, almost like today's clouds. Today's clouds look harmless. We're not going to get thunder and lightning today, but sometimes after a thunderstorm is over, you think the storm is over, and you go outside, and then lightning can still happen. So we have to stay indoors at least 30 minutes. Now this is sort of cool about lightning and clouds, because if you're ever in an airplane, lightning hits the airplane, you're safe, you're insulated because of there's some metal wiring and a metal skin to the plane, a lot of the planes still, and that insulates you. Sort of like if you ever have a chance to go to Boston, that's where I'm from, in the Boston, Massachusetts Museum of Science, go, if you ever go there, to the lightning show, and it's amazing. I want to take my kids there this summer maybe. And so a man or a woman gets in this giant bird cage in the lightning room, and then this giant pole zaps the cage with lightning. Can you see that? And it's deafening how loud the thunder is in there. But because he's not touching the cage, he's not going to get hurt, or she's not going to get hurt. So the same principle happens with your car. Your car, if it gets struck by lightning, you're going to be okay. You're going to be okay. It's not because of the rubber tires, it's because of the metal encasement, the metal frame of the car surrounds you, and all that electricity gets dissipated around that. So, sort of neat. This, again, the Boston, Massachusetts Museum of Science, and I used to go there all the time for field trips, and just super cool. Hey, bolt out of the blue. Look at this thunderstorm. Sometimes this cloud, a thunderstorm, can shoot a lightning bolt out the side 10 miles. And so if you live, say, in Goodlettsville, and there's a thunderstorm in Hendersonville, you could still get struck by lightning. Even if it's over Hendersonville and Old Hickory Lake, Goodlettsville could have a lightning strike out the side. Bolt out of the blue is what it's called. So just a couple more. This is just a neat cloud. We talked about microbursts and damaging wind gusts last time, but you can see the collapsing storm and that wind coming down, and sometimes these microbursts produce shelf clouds. So it sort of leans out. So if you ever see that coming, you could be a little cloud scientist or a meteorologist yourself and say, hey, everybody get in the house. The wind is about to get nasty. Last Sunday, so 2 Sundays ago, the one before Mother's Day, when we had all those damaging wind gusts, we had shelf clouds like this coming through in advance of that damaging wind. All right. And then turbulence. Sometimes you may fly on an airplane and it bounces you around. And sometimes you can get clouds that look like this around big areas of turbulence, but that doesn't happen here. It happens out in the mountains.
We have a question. Karen is asking what causes the puffiness of the cumulus cloud.
Yeah, good question, Karen. So what causes the puffiness? What causes all clouds is rising air. So when we actually have rising air that's very quick, then it just causes the cloud to sort of bubble up quickly. So you need strong currents of rising air to make that puffiness. It'll be sort of ragged on the side when those rising air currents are less significant. So you need those strong rising currents of air. And sometimes they get going really strong. They just start just like that. They get going really strong. All right. And this is just an Air Force plane from a long time ago that was looking for turbulence. And again, that's that bumpiness when you're in the airplane. And it found it. It was doing experiments, and it knocked off the tail section. Can you see that? It damaged the aircraft. So they were successful in doing their experiments. They found it for sure. They probably got some good measurements. Okay, let's transition to snow. Hey, this is me. This is little Danny Thomas. This is when I was probably 6, and I'm a lot older than that now. And this is my sister Maureen. Sometimes she watches these, so a little shout out to my sister Maureen. She had a very nice Mother's Day 2 days ago. We're going to talk snow. This is when we were kids in the Boston area. Now, obviously behind us, we didn't have a whole lot of snow going on. But sometimes we got blasted. This is my brother Steve. This is the guy who's been in the Air Force now 20 years. So obviously he's a lot bigger than that. He's taller and bigger than me now. Can you believe that? But this is one of the big snowstorms we had. Actually, this is probably 2 snowstorms. This is my house where I grew up. And can you see? So this is the living room window. And so I'm probably 5 feet in this picture. My guess is I'm 13. And the snowbank was taller than me. So we got blasted. Hey, look at this. This is, can you read this? Pesco Costanzo, Italy. I probably said that wrong, but Pesco Costanzo, Italy. 95 inches, that's 8 feet of snow, fell in 24 hours many years ago. Can you imagine that? So as we look carefully at this picture here, the snowbank is up, this looks like maybe a door or a window. I mean, it's way up there. It's almost getting up to the 2nd floor. 8 feet of snow in 24 hours. Here in the United States, it can be super snowy too. This is out in California. Sometimes California gets 3, 4, 5, 6 feet in one snowstorm. Let's make our own snowstorm. How's that sound? Should we make our own snowstorm? let's get into the experiments, my favorite part. This can be done from home. This should be good. Should I open these back up? Let me open these. No, we don't need to open the back windows. We had them closed for the computer here. So you can do this at home. Snowstorm in a bottle. I did it with my wife. She watched. She didn't help, but she just watched and cheered me on. My kids haven't even seen this, so they'll have to watch this on the video later. But you just need a jar. So you get a jar. You need some baby oil. So a lot of us have baby oil. This is like $2 at Walmart yesterday, no big deal. Ideally, you've got some white paint. I've got some really old white craft paint, so we'll see how well that works. But I've got some other, this is like tan, we should use white. You need some Alka-Seltzer or equivalent. So we've got Alka-Seltzer. And just to make it super cool, we've got some glitter here. That's going to be nice. We need some sort of container, and then we need a little mixer, and we're going to actually add water. So I'm going to need some water, and this will allow us to mix the paint and the water in through here. And some newspaper, or you can put down a cloth, just to make sure we're not making a mess, because this could get a little messy. And hey, this is interesting. I don't know if you can see this or not. This looks, I don't know if this is a Tennessean or not. Where's that date? Date, Tennessean. I was doing this last night. I pulled this paper out of our painting area, and the date last night on the paper that I used said Friday, May 11th, 2012. So just by coincidence, yesterday was May 11th. I just randomly grabbed some newspaper that was 8 years old. So this is 8 years and 2 days old, but just sort of neat. And this is in case this gets out of control. We'll put this in there and just not make too much mess. So you take your baby oil. Baby oil. Now, my wife told me to set this up because she's like, this is going to take forever. And she's probably right. So just hang with me and be patient. I want to put most of this baby oil in there, so it's going to take us a second, but it's going along pretty well. And it's just baby oil in the jar. Let it get some air. And so we're going to go, it depends on how close to a mess you want to make, but I'm going to go probably to 2/3 full because I really don't want to make that big of a mess or any mess at all. Let's call that done. Let's call that done. So we've got our baby oil. The next thing we want to do is get a little water and a little paint. First, I'm going to add the paint. So hopefully this is going to work. Because again, who knows how ancient this nasty stuff is. Ooh, that's pretty good. So whatever. That looks like enough. So how much is that? Who knows? I don't know, like 5 tablespoons. Just guessing for all the parents watching. Apparently, we've got some blue and yellow in there. This is going to be interesting. I'm going to add some water, so hang tight. Put some water in here. And not much, probably equal part water. So 50% paint, 50% water, and this is my paint key that I open paint containers with. And I just carefully mix that up. So, super simple. Anyone can do this because we're sort of using messy contents. Have your parents hanging around. Carefully pour this in, and it's going to float down to the bottom. And you think this is cool already. Well, you just wait. I don't want to go too high with this. So we'll just stop it right there. And then, let's add some glitter. Hey, you guys want to see the snowstorm? You may come in and watch. So because they want to come and be part. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glitter. So we're going to make a snowstorm, guys. Just hang right there. Thank you. That's good. All right. Where'd you get those glasses? Are those LOL glasses? Okay, so I said yesterday to myself, I'm going to add more glitter. And so that's what I've done. I want a glitter blizzard. What's a blizzard? A blizzard is a super strong, essentially a blizzard is heavy snow that's blowing, and the wind has to be at least 35 miles an hour. Visibility has to be down around a quarter mile, and I believe it's for at least 3 hours. So you can actually have blizzard conditions, and it's not even snowing. Now, I want to stir this a little bit because I want the glitter to settle down to the bottom. The paint has settled down to the bottom of our baby oil, and the glitter is trying to settle down to the bottom of our baby oil too. We're not going to... Baby oil. This is what I'm using here, right here. See the baby oil. So now, Alka-Seltzer. This is when we add the fun ingredient. Now, Hudson, if you would not touch the paper, because I don't want this to accidentally fall and get, oh, you're okay, and get baby oil all over the floor. Equate Alka-Seltzer. It was like $2 cheaper. Ready? So we'll see what happens. Let's drop it in. And if it gets ready to fizz over, I'm going to sort of step in and put it in here so we don't destroy our kitchen. But let's just see what happens. So Alka-Seltzer has an effervescent characteristic of it where it starts to generate some bubbles. And so now, as it rises, to compensate, we've got, I've got some. So as we watch that, I just want to give you some fun snow facts. Did you know that Nashville's biggest snowstorm ever was 17 inches? 17 inches, that's almost 1.5 feet in 24 hours. March 17, 1862, about 150 years ago. Most snowfall that we've ever gotten in one season in Nashville, 38.5 inches. So Nashville in one season has gotten more than 3 feet before. We can get a snow event as early as the day before Halloween. It's happened. We can get snow as late as just a couple weeks ago. April 25th, 1910, we got 1.5 inches of snow. How's our snowstorm? More Alka-Seltzer, says my wife. All right, we're going to go into the messy zone here. It's all good. It's all in the name of science.
Oh, here we go.
All right. All right, now it's starting to get a little crazy in there. So it's like a little mini snow globe. Pretty cool. It snows in all 50 states. So yes, Hawaii and Florida even get snow. For Hawaii, it happens on the highest mountains of the Big Island. In fact, in January 2018, we had snow on the ground in all 50 states for the first time in almost 10 years. That's awesome. Isn't that cool? That is a raging snowstorm. World record snowfall in a year. Oh, she wants me to put it in here. World record snowfall in a year. 95 feet in 1 year at Mount Baker in Washington State. And the fastest snowfall rate, this is unbelievable, listen to this. The fastest snowfall rate ever recorded in the United States, 1 foot fell in 1 hour in Copenhagen, New York. Lake effect snow, December 2nd, 1966. Pretty sweet, huh? Make your own snowstorm from home. I hope you had fun. And as we talked about a bunch of things, we're going to do this one more time. My final Facebook Live is next Tuesday. And God only knows what I'm going to talk about then. But I am on TV in 35 minutes on News 4 at noon out on the back patio. So hopefully you can join me. Have a great day. And again, thanks for watching Facebook Live. Take care.